telefina yaffe for such a wonderful program. We are really benefiting from it. And secondly, I also thank our dear viewers. You are the best. In fact, I hug you all. Last time, I left with you an assignment on the chalkboard. I think everybody is in position to view it. We are going to make sure that we make corrections so that you really follow what really is supposed to be done. I really appreciate all your mighty responses to these questions. You are very fantastic. It showed me that you can creatively think, logically reason out, and therefore you are in position to solve problems. We normally believe that we are not rewarded for having the brain, but we are rewarded in accordance to the way someone uses one's brain. Through logically thinking, creatively thinking, and carefully solving problems, you put your brain at task. You don't keep it at rest. So, we are going to summarize with this. As I told you last time that we are winding up with the angles. And according to your concerns, we received them. Majorly they on basis, and that is term 1 topic, whereby I've organized revision questions on whole numbers, where your major concerns are. For your information, this topic was selected by you viewers. Some were parents, others were teachers, and some were candidates. It was not my choice, it was your choice. They requested we review about properties of angles formed on parallel lines, and that is what we have been reviewing. Today, we may wind up and we look at other concerns, and that is the whole numbers. We shall go slowly by slowly as well as you understand. I may be a little bit faster because I will not wait for you to copy the question or to write all what has been written on the chalkboard. No, we are not in class because I cannot remain dormant without doing something. What you can do is sit attentively, listen to the explanations, then you'll be in a position to use that information. Otherwise, when I talk and for you write, you will not understand. Sit attentively, put everything aside, and listen. I welcome you to class. This was our question number 1. Some members said they had not copied the other activity, 1 and 2, but I managed to send to them. And I know whoever requested for that information, you must have received it. If you didn't receive, it is a pity. Next time, better. If you answered everything correct, you are so fantastic. If you lost something, it is okay. We learn by mistakes, and failure teaches success. Be keen, check where you went wrong, and you'll be in position to change. Even me, sometimes I can come here, I may call complementary angles supplementary by mistake. Not because I don't know, but mistakenly, I may call it supplementary or complementary when I'm meaning supplementary. So we try to reduce on our mistakes through practicing how to be keen or careful. We shall start off with our number 1. This is our diagram. As you see, they drew the angles formed on parallel lines. And you realize that this line is parallel to that. Once you draw that, sometimes I like drawing so that you can observe how these angles are formed. Otherwise, when it's already drawn, you will get problems. But stay attentively and check how are they formed. An examiner will just draw like that. Like that. Then he will still put that line you see. That is our transversal line. Angles have been formed, corresponding angles, alternating interior angles, vertically opposite angles, which we have already studied. But he will try to put something like a caveat to confuse you. But when you are very keen and you observe how these angles are derived, you will not even mess up. You will always be on point. For instance, you realize that this angle corresponds with that because you know corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are equal. So after drawing them like that, he puts here 150 degrees. And from there, he will create another line. Check. That is another transversal line. Then he makes sure that this angle, he gives it 70 degrees or any. And here he puts there n. So that if you are not very keen, you lose concentration and you think the number is very hard. Yet, he's just testing you on the corresponding angles. This line should not confuse you. Just on here, I've got you. You can't fool me. These are corresponding angles. And therefore, you can easily observe that property and use it to answer this question. So here you realize I may start with this side, this angle here, because it is the one with the unknown. I can say n plus 70 degrees is equal to 150 degrees. The reason is these are corresponding angles. Examine no. You cannot follow me. You become very wise. So when you solve, you realize that n plus 70 degrees minus 70 degrees is equal to 150 degrees minus 70 degrees. Our n alone will give us 80 degrees. Always be keen so that you don't lose a mark. So for this case, if I'm the one marking you, I will appreciate. And I'll give you here method marker 1. And there I will award you an accuracy mark 1 for this correct response. This one shows that you understand corresponding angles. There are other alternatives that can be used here. So if you're a candidate and trying to copy this, just stay attentively, check how these angles are formed, because I'm likely to rub off this so that we look at other ways other people approached this number. So the value of n will be 80 degrees. There are other approaches which were used, according to those I received, that were used to arrive at the same answer. For instance, I can rub off this due to space, but you must have understood that property. The other property which other people could have used is some of the candidates realized that this one and this one are angles on a straight line, whereby we call them supplementary angles. Let me not call them complementary, mistakenly. But these are angles on a straight line. They add up to 180 degrees. Angles which add up to 180 degrees are, we can call them co-interior angles, then angles on a straight line, or what we call supplementary angles, angles on a straight line. So if this one is 150 degrees, obviously, for these two angles to add up to 180 degrees, this one will be 30 degrees. How do I get 30 degrees? Since the two add up to 180, and I already know one of the angles, or what we call the supplement. We can call this one an angle, or this one the supplement. What's the supplement of 150 degrees? It is 30 degrees. The two angles which add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 150 degrees, then this angle will be 30 degrees. The two angles must add up to 180 degrees. They are angles on a straight line. You can use some side, then you say 180 degrees, take away 150 degrees. And we realize that the remaining angle here is supposed to be 30 degrees. So you put it there. Show it there. Don't work out and leave it aside. Show it on your diagram. And as you observe, when you are very keen, you realize that this angle plus the whole of this one, they are co-interior angles. Remember, co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So when you get n plus 70 degrees plus 30 degrees, you will get 180 degrees. The reason will be reflected here. They are now co-interior angles. I believe the examiner will see this and sees that. Then your equation will obviously be very correct. When you get n plus 70 degrees plus 30 degrees, you will get 180 degrees. Reason, these are now co-interior angles. When you get this angle here, plus this one here, you will use that property of co-interior angles. So when you solve, I'm very sure you will also get 80 degrees. When you get n plus 70 degrees plus 30 degrees, you will get 100 degrees, which gives us 180 degrees. Collect your like terms. N plus 100 degrees, take away 100 degrees. This gives us 180 degrees minus 100 degrees. When you solve that, you will obviously get n is equal to 80 degrees. Some of you forgot the units. Any angle is measured in degrees, please. Whoever forgot units, I know I must have crossed you. But check if you did that. That was very logical reasoning. It was very wonderful. That is one of the ways. We are not going to overstay on this number. However, let's look at like two other options and we go to another number. I know everybody must have grasped that concept, and whoever didn't use it, you can as well apply it. Otherwise, our viewers, if you are there, you can be in a position also to set for yourself a question, put a bet in it, give it to your friend to work out, and you see whether we'll get it right. See that? Practice. Formulate questions and work out them. Put some tricks in them. So they will be in position to answer any questions that will be set by anybody. So the other idea is, the first one we used corresponding angles. This angle was corresponding with that, and we said they are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. Then this one, when you get these 30 degrees, you realize that this 30 degrees corresponds with that angle. I got one who used that, and that is very good. And therefore, he said, if this is 30 degrees, then this angle is also 30 degrees. He brought it there. He brought it there after putting it here. And you realize that now these ones became angles on a straight line. Now, angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. But they must begin from the same point of vertex here. You realize that now this one, that angle, plus this one, plus that one, you will get 180 degrees. They are angles on a straight line. So when you get n plus 30 degrees plus 70 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. The property we're using here is that one of angles on a straight line. This plus this plus this, you get 180. And your reason will be reflected here. Or if you have done it like that, you will put here angles on a straight line. And you realize that the equation which was formed here using co-interior angles is the same equation when you try to observe. This plus this, you get 180. And when you solve, you will get the same answer. So those who used that technique, you are good. Be blessed. So there are other ways, very many other ways. But we could end on these so that we look at other numbers. But I know when you create them, complete on the diagram and work out them and check whether you will get the same answers. I thank you for this number. Most of you got it right. Bravo. We are going to look at the second number faster. Our second number is there. If you are very observant, God gave you the eyes so that they can see. Check the second number. It is just as simple as you feel. They gave us this angle, and they gave us this one outside. If you are very observant, and you know the properties of angles formed on parallel lines, you cannot fail this. First of all, by mere using corresponding angles, you will get it right. How? This angle here corresponds with this one there. So, let me draw it here. This angle here was 3n degrees, but they gave us the other exterior angle as 105 degrees. So as I said, there are various approaches or various ways you can work out this number. One of them being, you could easily say this angle here is corresponding with this one. Then you shift 3n here. If this is 3n, then the whole of this angle is 3n. Then you realize that this angle here is 105. And these are vertically opposite angles. Check. 3n is vertically opposite to this one. And you remember we said vertically opposite angles are equal. Even if you don't recall the reason, you will just see this angle is vertically opposite to this one. The angle, this side is equal to that one. And therefore, you can just say 3n is equal to 105 degrees. Reason, they are vertically opposite. So from there to find for the value of n, we shall need to divide both sides by 3 by 3. What we call the coefficient. 3n divide this 3 by 3 is equal to 105 degrees. Divide the whole of that one by 3. By 3 once, by 3 once. Divide this one by 3, you get 1. Divide also this one by 3, you get 1. Divide this 3 by 3 once. 10! Divide it by 3. If you divide 10 by 3, 3 goes into 10 3 times. You remain with 1. That one is taken ahead there or in front there. And this number becomes 15. 15 divided by 3, you will get 5. Our degrees there. So our n alone will be equal to 35 degrees. That's the value of n. Most of you also got this number correct. Why? Some used that property, others used the property of alternate exterior angles. It was very direct. You realize that this angle alternates with this one, but from outside. Alternate exterior angles. We said alternate exterior angles are equal. So someone could just say 3n without putting it here is equal to 105 degrees. Alternate exterior angles in brackets. Then you are very correct. You are very correct. And when you solve, you will get the same answer. Those who use alternate exterior angles, when they didn't complete like that, but they just said 3n is equal to 105 degrees into brackets alternate exterior angles. Then they solved and they got the same answer. 2. Others just said this angle is vertically opposite to this. Then they brought here 105 degrees. Then they said this one corresponds with this one. They stated the same equation and they got the same answer. A few use the property of angles formed on parallel lines. This was a bit unique. Maybe I can write it faster. So some use this property. They realize that if this angle is 105 degrees, they went on to find that one first. There are angles on a straight line. This angle plus this one, you get 180 degrees. Angles on one side of a straight line. This angle plus this one, you must get 180. So someone could we just work out from our side by saying 180 degrees, take away the given angle, 105 degrees. Regroups. 10 minus 5, you get 5. 7 minus 0, you get 7. These are degrees, so you'll get nothing here. Then he puts here 75 degrees. Then from there, you realize that this one and this one, they are co-exterior angles. And we said co-exterior angles add up to 180 degrees. Co-interior angles also add up to 180 degrees. Very few of you used that method. So you realize that 3n plus 75 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. The reason is they are now co-exterior angles. And whoever used it, that is marvelous. This one, I could, if I was the one marking here, I could give you a method mark 1. And I can just acknowledge there. So this 3n plus 75 degrees minus 75 degrees will give us 180 degrees minus 75 degrees. We collect our like terms like that. From there, here 3n will be equal to, when you get 180 degrees minus 75 degrees, you are going to get 105 degrees. And you realize 3n is equal to 105 degrees. Whereby, you remember what we did. Alternate exterior angles were equal. But check that step. 3n is equal to 105 degrees. Whoever subtracted accurately 180 minus 75 got that. And therefore, we need to divide both sides by 3 by 3. Divide this 3 by 3 once, by 3 once, by 3 once, by 3, it will be 3, remainder 1. 15 by 3, you get 5. And therefore, our x will be equal to 35 degrees. Whoever used that approach, you also got it right. Space is not there, but x gives us 35 degrees. That is also a brilliant idea from brain workers. You know, this world belongs to the thinkers. So you need to think logically, creatively, in order to solve problems. So whoever got it right, bravo, you are so fantastic. Let's look at the other ones. However, if there are others who may have used different methods or techniques, it is okay, as long as the reasoning is correct. That was our number 2. Then we had also 1 and 2 on the second chart. Just various techniques of setting questions. That is why you sit, create a question for yourself, and answer it. You cannot always find obvious questions. questions are created and answered. Always also sit down, create and answer. Now this is a question which has been created or which was created for you to answer. You realize that they are just testing you on angles formed on parallel lines. When you are very keen, you will find out that this angle here is corresponding with that. Remember last time we looked at them. In fact, I gave you an example of additional sign as you are starting to write your addition. See that this angle corresponds with this one. Then this one corresponds with the other one outside. Those are corresponding angles. I wouldn't wish to be very fast, but I cannot stand dormantly for you to observe. But if you are very attentive, you must have picked a point. So I will just say 4x minus 40 degrees is equal to 2x plus 10 degrees. The reason can be put in brackets. Reason, they are corresponding angles. I'm not going to put the reason due to space. However, this is correct reasoning. Then from there I collect my like terms. 4x minus 40 degrees plus now 40 degrees is equal to 2x plus 10 degrees plus 40 degrees. Most of you fail to collect the like terms, whereby when it came to taking minus 40 the other side, you left it as minus 40. Yet the additive inverse of minus 40 is plus 40. The number which you add to negative 40 and you get a 0 is minus 40. In fact, the opposite. Teachers of English call these opposites. For us, we call them additive inverse. So the opposite of minus 40 is plus 40. So you put the opposite on both sides. So minus 40 plus 40 is equal to 2x plus 10 plus 40. So here we shall be left with 4x. Here minus 40 plus 40, you will get 0. Is equal to, here we are having 2x plus 50 degrees. Well collected the like terms. And this is now what we are having. Everybody must be observant. Then from there, we bring this 2x, also this side d. This is now final collection of like terms. This was the first collection because we needed to collect minus 40 to the other side first. Thereafter, this 2x must as well be brought this side. And this is positive 2x. Once it comes this side, it will be minus 2x. Why? The opposite or the additive inverse of positive 2x is minus 2x. So 4x minus 2x is equal to 2x minus 2x, to show how the 2x disappears from the other side, plus the 50 degrees. Don't forget anything. Be on point. So 4x minus 2x, you will get 2x, which gives us 2x minus 2x, you get 0. So plus 50 degrees, I will not write a 0. I'll write with what I'm left there. So our 2x is equal to 50 degrees. We need to find for the value of x. And therefore, we need to divide both sides by 2 by 2. 2x divided by 2 equals 50 degrees, also divided by 2. Divide these 2 by 2 once, by 2 once. by 2 here once. When you get 5 divided by 2, it is twice. 2 goes into 5 twice, you remain with 1. That one is taken forward there, and this number becomes 10. 10 divided by 2, you'll get 5. So your number should be clearly seen. Our x along this side is equal to 25 degrees. Space, x alone. Our x is giving us only 25 degrees. It is always, our space was not enough. I've written it up there. Our x alone is 25 degrees. Whoever got 25 degrees, bravo. Thank you so much. That is wow. That one, most of you used only that, and most people got it right. I salute you. Let's look at the last number so that we can see what next. Always stay tuned. We shall logically think, creatively think, be careful in handling issues, and solve our daily problems. I'm going to erase this so that we handle our last number there due to time. Allow me to do that. So those were also corresponding angles. Our last number, our parallel lines were drawn horizontally. At least these ones were vertical, but that one, the parallel lines were horizontal. Then our transversal line, check how it has intersected. Automatically, there are angles formed, and you know them. This one alternates with this. Those are equal. This one alternates with this. Alternate interior angles have already been created. This one corresponds with this. This one corresponds with that. In fact, before I answer, I can even review very fast. However, they gave us here 3x, and here 150 degrees. Logically, you will realize that this angle alternates with this one. However, it depends on your approach. You can say this x alternates with this one. And you say, if this is 3x, this is also 3x. You will form angles on a straight line, on this side of straight line. You will get this x plus this one, and you get 180 degrees. Why? They are angles on a straight line, this side of straight line. So, by mere stating, first of all, you will have to first complete on the diagram. Whoever didn't complete this question on the diagram, I believe I said you were wrong. Why? Because there was no clear reason for saying 3x plus 150 degrees equals 180. They were not angles on a straight line, neither they were co-interior angles. That's why I said you were wrong. So you were supposed to first complete on the diagram before you work out. So whoever completed like that and stated 3x plus 150 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. This is fantastic. That's very good. Why? I observe here. It was well brought. Then you use that property. That's very good. So when you solve, let's solve, and we see 3x plus 150 degrees minus 150 degrees. This gives us 180 degrees minus 150 degrees. Proper collection of like terms. Therefore, our 3x this side is equal to 180 degrees minus 150 degrees. We shall get 30 degrees. Divide both sides by 3 to get the value of x. 3x divided by 3 is equal to 30 degrees. Divide it also by 3. 3 divided by 3 once. Divide also this 3 by 3 once. By 3 once, by 3 once. 0 divided by 3 is 0. Our x is equal to 10 degrees. That is the value of our x. So that was the first idea. I, as Benard, have used, but others may have used other ideas. For instance, the first one for me I thought of was this angle alternates with this, and therefore, when I bring it here, they will become angles on a straight line. So when I add this plus, you get 180. Another one may not have used that idea. You may have said, this angle here is vertically opposite to this one. Then you bring 150 degrees there. And that is very good. Why? This angle is sincerely vertical opposite to this. And if this is 150 degrees, this one is also 150 degrees. Then you use the idea of co-interior angles to work out the number. Check. When you get this angle plus this one, you will get 180 degrees. The reason is they are now co-interior angles. That is why I could not mark whoever did not complete first of all on the diagram. There was no specific reason for your equation. So still here, you realize that 3x plus 150 degrees. This one must give us 180 degrees. You realize that this equation here, formed here, is almost, it is the same as this one which was formed here, because this way angles on a straight line, or what we call supplementary angles. Then when you use this idea, they become co-interior angles. When you work out, you will get the same answer. Since it is the same equation, you realize that the answer is the same. Then the other third option is someone could have not done that, but could say this angle is vertically opposite to that one. And therefore, this one is also 3x. Bearing in mind that he wants to use co-exterior angles. This angle here, plus now this one here, they are co-exterior. Once you complete like that, and you will state that 3x plus 150 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. They are co-exterior angles. You are very fantastic. That is good, extremely good. Your reasoning is good. And when you solve, you will still get x as 10 degrees. Maybe the last one I can talk of, since this one is 150 degrees, you can easily say, now this one, since this one plus this one you get 180, this one is going to be 30 degrees. Check that idea. If this is 150 degrees, then this is 30 degrees. Remember, our 3x is here. This angle alternates with that. Then you will state this equation. 3x is equal to 30 degrees. Why? They are alternate interior angles. When you go on to work out, divide both sides by 3, you will get x as also 10 degrees. By 3 once, by 3 once, by 3 once, by 3 once. 0 divided by 3 is 0. Our x alone gives us 10 degrees. That is the idea someone may have used, and that is very good. You have reasoned out accurately, beyond doubt. Use the idea of alternate interior angles. However, there are others. After putting it here, you can also say this one corresponds with that. Then you bring here 30 degrees. You realize that now these are vertically opposite angles, and the same equation will be formed. 3x is equal to 30 degrees. Now these ones become vertically opposed angles. And therefore, when you work out, you will get the same answer. That was corrections of our assignment, our dear viewers. Wherever I may have gone wrong, please, you will send me on my number, and we'll see how we discuss it. Or everything may be fine. You know, a man may... sometimes we make mistakes, but that is our assignment.
Ekyolunaku oluddako njagala kubategeeza nti tukyagenda maaso n'okusoma era tujja kuddamu okusoma ku ssaawa zigenda kubeera ate 3 paka ssaawa 4. Master Mangeni, bawe assignment esembayo.
Kale, thank you, Maurice. I really appreciate your concerns. The concerns which you raised, I've tried to answer them. I'm so delighted for that. I've decided to set those revision questions so that when I come, we shall answer number by number. Because the concerns were majorly about writing in Roman numerals and also bases. That's why I came up with those questions to help us do more practice. And when I come, we shall see how each number is dealt with. But you realize on angles, as we sum up, angles formed on parallel lines, you will get various questions. But I would wish that you logically answer this one, number 1, as your practice. You may only answer number 1, only. And the possible answers are down there. Check yourself if you have reasoned your question well. Number 1, the answer for number 1 is supposed to be 50 degrees. You must reason out, and your final answer must be 50 degrees. Then for number 2, if you happen to do it, the answer is 90 degrees. Otherwise, I wish you well, but answer those questions. When I come next time, we shall deal with each number separately. We're supposed to move to polygons, but since polygons are for term 2, let me be clear, they are majorly for term 2. I was advised we first review all term 1 work. When we finish all term 1 work, we shall continue with the term 2 work. I appreciate, may God bless you. Stay tuned to BBS, our telefiner. Thank you so much.
Tuyanze Master Mangeno era nkakasa nti abadde balina ebibuuzo bimwebuuza ate musobodde okuba nti muddibwamu yongera okusindika ebibuuzo ebyo